Daystar did not suffer superficial wounds. He was stabbed 14 times, 5 times in his back, 1 under his left cheekbone. In fact, his jaw was open. He was stabbed twice in the back of his head, and the rest in his torso, arms, and in his chest. I was told by the nurse, in his particular condition, normally they would have had to leave those tubes in at least a couple more days. But yesterday they took him out because they said he is recovering remarkably.
In the cold early hours of a California state prison, long before the sun had a chance to rise over razor wire fences and locked cell blocks, something brutal and almost unthinkable took place. Grammy-nominated artist Tory Lanez, a name once synonymous with radio hits, platinum plaques, and viral R&B bravado, was stabbed 14 times inside prison walls, airlifted in critical condition, clinging to life, and while some call it a senseless attack, others say it was inevitable. But what really happened that morning?
I ask that every ear that needs to be opened, including the ear of the governor of the state of California, Gavin Newsom, I'm even asking today that in the midst of Mr. Trump's busy schedule as president of the United States, that this would come into his hearing. But I also did not want any blowback to affect my son, who was sitting in the belly of the beast. That's why I chose not to speak at that time. I am his father, and that is the second capacity. I want to dispel a few rumors because I've been asked to by my son, Daystar, aka Tory Lanez. Number one, Daystar does not have a drinking problem. He does not have a drinking problem, and that was not the reason why this situation happened. He was not out on the yard.
As rumors swirled, Twitter fingers blaming gangs, race, and even Megan Thee Stallion herself, Tory's own father stepped forward, issuing a powerful and heartbreaking public statement. It was raw, it was poetic, and it felt like something pulled straight from a courtroom monologue in a movie that ends badly. But this is real life.
California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi, according to California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. That prison about an hour away from Bakersfield. Lanez, also known as Daystar Peterson, was provided medical aid after staff called 911.
As Tory Lanez recovers in a hospital after a prison stabbing attack, his father and supporters gathered today to demand his...
Let's be clear, Tory Lanez wasn't stabbed on the yard. This wasn't some midday riot or fight gone wrong in the mess hall. According to his father, the attack happened just after 6 a.m. during breakfast prep, right when his cell was popped open. It was targeted, precise, maybe even planned. And the rumors, they're loud. Some say it was racially motivated, a Mexican inmate allegedly responsible. Others claim it was about Tory's politics. See, in the prison world, politics don't have anything to do with debates or elections. It's about who you stand with, what color you wear, and what name you say when someone asks where you're from. Spider Loke, a known voice in the streets and someone with ties to prison sources, even interviewed an inmate housed with Tory. That man all but confirmed what the people were already whispering, that this was about race and power.
Oh yeah, I can hear you now.
What it do, Kyle?
Yo, I hear you, bro.
What's Gucci?
What's cracking?
What it do, Five?
Shit, nothing much to look, right? This morning, brother, the Mex came out and bust on the boy Tory. You know, they airlifted him and all that, so no, that's gonna respond when we come off this shit. We're gonna respond the right way to that.
They laid the yard down?
No, it happened in the building.
What was it over? It was over some. What he had did he have a debt, a gambling debt or something?
Nah, nothing like that. Shit, we don't even really know. We don't even know the whole situation, you know.
So it was just like some foul play. So it's finna be up.
Yeah, it's it for sure with some foul play.
Damn, cuz.
Tory, according to insiders, wasn't just surviving in prison, he was adapting, getting comfortable, too comfortable. He was politicking, the kind of institutional savvy you don't just pick up in a studio session, but in some places, when you politic too well, you stop being a visitor and you start being a player. And that's when it gets dangerous. When you're a celebrity walking through a system designed for lifers and long-timers, there's a target on your back, not because you're soft, but because you're valuable. A message carved into real skin.
Rapper was convicted of shooting Megan Thee Stallion. Fox 7's Christy Fajardo tells us about the claim of new evidence.
Bringing it to light now was made necessary by the events of this week.
Just days after rapper Tory Lanez, also known as Daystar Peterson, was attacked in prison, his attorneys are calling on Governor Newsom to pardon or commute his sentence, insisting they have new evidence Lanez didn't shoot superstar Megan Thee Stallion, but it was instead her former best friend, Kelsey Harris. And they say Harris's one-time bodyguard, Bradley James, was spurred by conscience to come forward.
Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Miss Harris had where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody.
Walter Roberts says the statement aligns with another witness who saw 2 women fighting. Lanez is serving a 10-year sentence after being convicted of shooting Stallion in the Hollywood Hills back in 2020. The singer testified against Lanez and in an op-ed wrote, quote, "Even as a victim, I have been met with skepticism and judgment."
Let's rewind. Tory Lanez is serving a 10-year sentence after being convicted in the 2020 shooting of Megan Thee Stallion, a case that has split fans, ignited social media wars, and exposed deep cracks in how celebrity race, gender, and justice collide. Even before the stabbing, Tory's father has stood firm that his son was railroaded, that the prosecution was flawed, and the evidence shaky. In the DA's office looking to make an example out of a black man in Hollywood. Whether or not you believe that, his passion is undeniable. And just recently, members of Tory's legal team hinted at new evidence, even floated a strange implication about Megan's role in Tory's stabbing, something that feels more conspiracy theory than reality. And let's be honest, Megan Thee Stallion doesn't run the California Department of Corrections. This isn't power, this is real life. Still, even a false whisper can spark fire inside.
Not the reason why this situation happened. He was not out on the yard as it was about 6:30 in the morning and cells were just opened for them to be able to go out to breakfast. On the Thursday prior to this incident, I was called by him and I was told of the impending threat. And my family and I huddled and did what we always do.
Here's the part that most people don't want to talk about. Inside California state prisons, the rules are different. Black, brown, white, every group moves as a unit. Politics are survival, and when you disrupt that balance, when someone from the outside tries to understand or even play the system, they get reminded real quick, you're not in control here. And make no mistake, prisons are kingdoms. If you control the prisons, you control the streets, the drug pipelines, the hits, the culture, and if you're Tory Lanez, a high-profile artist with gang rumors already surrounding you, you don't get to choose neutrality. Was this a personal beef or a racial message, a consequence of playing too close to the flame? Or was Tory just the latest example of what happens when celebrity meets the concrete jungle, where your hits don't matter, only your politics do? Authorities have identified the man responsible for stabbing Tory Lanez as 42-year-old Santino Casio. In Casio, this wasn't his first time seeing blood spill inside prison walls. He's been locked down since 2004, serving a life sentence with the possibility of parole for second-degree murder and first-degree attempted murder, a man convicted of ending one life and nearly taking another. But that's not where his record ends. In 2008, he picked up another 6 years for stabbing someone inside prison. In 2018, 2 more years were added for manufacturing a deadly weapon behind bars. This man has been building blades and spilling blood inside that prison system for over a decade. So when people ask if Tory's stabbing was personal or political, maybe they should also ask, was it inevitable? Authorities haven't released exact details of the weapon used or the motive, but Tory's team said he was stabbed 14 times and both his lungs collapsed. The fact that he's breathing on his own right now? That's not luck. That's a miracle. Santino Casio has been moved into restricted housing while prison investigators and the Kern County DA build their case. But let's be real, what more can you do to a man already doing life? Casio is a reminder of brutal truth. Inside those walls, there are men who have nothing left to lose and everything to gain by sending a message, whether it's racial, political, or just sheer prison hierarchy. Every move behind bars means something. Tory Lanez is currently recovering. His condition, according to recent updates, is stable, but the scars, physical and psychological, won't fade easy. And as questions mount about prison violence, racial dynamics, and whether Tory was truly guilty in the first place, we're reminded of something his father said: if you don't protect your own, who will? So what do you think? Was Tory Lanez targeted for who he was or what he represents? Let me know in the comments below, and until next time, stay informed, stay aware, stay safe. It's your boy Misguided Media. I'm out.